Twitter measures
the Giants.
Well, here is the second half kickoff in Atlanta, where the Falcons are down by 10. San Francisco with a victory today. The Saints lost tomorrow to LA that clinched the NFC West. And a good effort by the kickoff return team. Cheers being led by Charles Washington, recently acquired special teamer who had been with him for 14 games last year.
Well, it's no surprise that the 49ers have moved the ball mostly right here in the passing offense. And we've talked about the matchup with Sanders and Rice has 5 catches through the first half. Really kind of a quiet 5 catches, but big catches. And that 180 yards has been the difference.
Niners have to start from their 15 with a good hit by Washington. About 3. Lee, remember, for the injured Ricky Watters. Watters didn't even make the trip. He's home tending to his knee. Could miss another game or two. Mo Gardner made the tackle on Amp Lee.
The 49ers have liked the right side of their offensive line, Ralph Tam and Harris Barton. It's no surprise. Harris Barton's had himself a Pro Bowl year. He was slowed early in the season with a knee. He's really come back. You know, you see him a lot pulling and trapping inside. He's a good pass protector, but really his strength is on the field. He's a coach on the field and makes all the adjustments for the offensive line.
Jamie Williams joins Brent Jones in a double tight formation. 2nd and 8. Williams. Another smart play by Young, taking the rush and then finding Williams open. Vinnie Clark made the tackle.
See Bobby Hebert throwing on the sideline, and the reason is simple. Bobby Hebert, if he doesn't throw on the sideline between series, his elbow gets tight, and he goes out there and he says he just can't throw anything. So all game long, you'll see him on the sideline, pretending to take the snap and then throwing the ball all day long.
He does it even at halftime. Stay loose during that stretch of time. Rice, Taylor, and Sanjay Beach on 3rd and 3. 3 wides in for the Niners. Young for Brent Jones, and flags fly as Harper, the safety, maybe flagged for interference.
I think this one could go either way. It's going to depend on what mood that official is in. Because Brent Jones decided to pull Harper. Harper was making a play on the football.
Harper was looking back at the ball, so let's see what the officials call here. The referee, Gordon McCarter.
It looks like Harper's going to lose his case. Nice coverage by Harper on Brent Jones all the way.
Pass interference. The covering linebacker. Automatic first down. Spot of the foul.
You're going to see right here, number 47. Harper, and he's locked up man-to-man. Now Harper can run, Brent Jones can run. Watch the adjustment. See, that was the difference right there. It first appeared that Harper had turned and looked at the ball, but he never did.
No, he didn't. And it is a first down. San Francisco at the 47-yard line of the 49ers. Lee again, only about a yard. Archambault, Goldberg, Tuggle all in on that one.
Well, we've talked about Steve Young's ability to find all his receivers, and you can see he got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 guys, with Rice leading the pack with 5. But Steve Young told us he wanted to go to Rice, but he's not afraid to use the whole field. He'll throw underneath, he'll throw over the top, he'll throw inside the numbers, and he'll throw it to everybody.
From the 48-yard line, Rathman and Carter are now in the 49er backfield. The 2nd and 8. Young's pass intended for Jones off the mark. That did not look like Young's normal delivery. I wonder if that wrist is bothering him. You saw him with ice on the wrist back in the first half.
Well, part of the reason is Lester Archambault is going to give him a smack. He sees it and feels the pressure, and the ball is just out of the grasp of Brent Jones. Sometimes when you get smacked in the first half, you go in at halftime and it starts to get tight on you, and it takes you a good couple series till it loosens up again.
3 wide receivers in on 3rd and 9. He is sacked. Here's Holt, his former teammate.
Well, the trademark work of Pierce Holt, number 95, is nonstop work. You know, watch him right here. What he does, he'll go into one move, it's not there, arm over, it's not there, keep on going, get past, keep on going. On the way down, he makes the sack. If you're going to block Pierce Holt, you have to commit to all play long, because he can get you at the beginning, but most probably he'll get you at the end when you think you have him blocked.
San Francisco will have to punt. Wilmsmeyer standing at his 25, and the flag flies. There were 2 seconds still on the clock, but there was movement along the line.
From here, Ken Tippins, number 52, the linebacker on the inside, jumped and tried to get the offense to jump.
Ball start before the snap. Offensive center moving the ball. 5 yards, still 4th down.
And nicely done by Ken Tippins. That's called the flinch, and a couple times Jerry Glanville will tell somebody on that offensive line, or I'm sorry, along that special team line, to flinch to see if they can get the jump.
Well, it was John Brandis, the punt snapper, number 85, reserve tight end, who was the victim of the move by Tippins. Wilmsmeyer hits it from the 25. Fair catch signal by Smith at the 20 of Atlanta. So we have a timeout on the field after a 45-yard punt. 17-7, 49ers. First down from the 19-yard line. David Mims in at the slot position for Atlanta, number 34. 4 wide spread out. We go to Pegram. Pegram finds daylight and picks up 8. Ted Washington and Tim McDonald made the tackle.
Well, it starts up front anytime Eric Pegram's going to go. Watch 64, Jamie Dukes with a block on Stubblefield. Can't just stay with him. Sometimes, you know, you may get pressure up the field. As long as you keep your hands on him and give your back an opportunity to see where he's going, you can make a big run.
894 yards, 4th in the conference coming into this game today for Pegram. Second a long yard. Pegram trying to get to the corner and does. First down Atlanta to the 37-yard line. Magruder steered him out, number 26.
Well, they go to the running game, and now it's to the left side with Mike Ken and Kennedy. Now watch Kennedy get a smack on Bill Romanowski, number 53, 66. Get that big body on him, push him. Once you get some vertical separation, you give Pegram a chance to pick up some yards.
49ers, Matt, stay with that 4-man front and only the one linebacker, Romanowski. We'll see if Atlanta stays with the run, whether Seifert counters with 2 more linebackers. He's been trying everything today, and so far effectively holding down Atlanta to 7 points. Mims off the flank. Gets about 4.
Nicely done by Don Griffin. Don Griffin coming off the corner, and a lot of times when you have corner force, sometimes the corners don't like to be in that position. They roll him up to that side, the secondary. Don Griffin understands how to make plays. Now, he's lost his step. He doesn't quite have the speed and burst that he's had, but he makes up with it with his head. He'll always be in the right position, and he knows when he's called upon in that corner force to make the play, he'll make it.
Second down, 7. Just over the 40-yard line of Atlanta. Hebert to Haynes. It bounces and nearly picked off on the deflection by Eric Davis.
Well, that was a poor decision by Bobby Hebert right there. And they had coverage all over him. He decided to try to force it in. Didn't get there. He was lucky that wasn't intercepted. Watch Hebert. He knows where he wants to go. He's going to take the chance. He'll throw it in there at the risk of having the interception. When you speak to June Jones about Bobby Hebert and the interceptions, June Jones says what he likes most about Hebert is interceptions don't faze him. He can come right back and try to get the same tough throw.
He had only 6 going into last week's game, and of course suffered 6 at the hands of the Oilers for a variety of reasons. Not all his fault. And that one, his arm was hit just as he released the football. That was Troy Wilson. Dennis Brown make it number 96. Wilson and Brown brought the pressure, and I guess it was probably Brown who got the arm up, impeding the throw of Hebert. So that's a 4th down play, and the punter Harold Alexander will make his second punt of the day, a 51-yarder of his first outing. Yeah, that's another good one. Dexter Carter waves fair catch right on the 10-yard line. 49-yarder from Alexander. Watch Charles Washington bearing down on Carter as the punt comes down, but he has the fair catch signal up. Scoreboard 17-7, 9:29 left in the third quarter, and they start from their 10-yard line following the good punt by the rookie Alexander. Logan out of the backfield gets 5 to the 15. San Francisco leading on the scoreboard, and I've got Rice leading on points over Deion Sanders in this big matchup everybody got excited about.
Well, and I'm still excited about it, and the reason is real simple. When you have a guy like Jerry Rice, you go to him 8 times, he has 5 completions, 21 yards after the catch. The most important thing is you go to him because he can make big plays. I think one of the biggest mistakes that the Dallas Cowboys made when they came here was not going at Deion Sanders, and see what Michael Irvin can do.
2nd and 5. Sideliner for Taylor, nearly caught it on the deflection, but Clark broke up the play, and had he caught it, he would have been out of bounds anyway.
Nicely done by Vinnie Clark.
Clark took over from Darnell Walker early in the game. They're both out there this time.
That is very good defensive backfield play. You see how he went with his inside arm, kept his top side arm ready to make the tackle. You go with the inside arm, make the play. If you don't make it, you make the tackle with the top side arm.
3rd down and 5. The rookie Harper trying to whip up the crowd, which has not been the 12th man so far for Atlanta. Oh, what a play by Tuggle, intended for Jones. Jesse Tuggle knocked that down in mid-flight.
Well, remember when I told you about having a field and zone defense? This time he's locked up in man on the back, but he's going to come all the way across. Now watch, he's locked up in man. Now have good presence. See that? He has the presence to follow the ball still. He's good in space, gets the hand up and knocks it down for a big play on 3rd down.
Atlanta will have good field position after Wilmsmeyer's punt, trailing by 10 here in the 3rd. Smith at midfield. Gets to the San Francisco 46-yard line, where Antonio Goss makes the tackle. A 37-yard punt from Wilmsmeyer. Bothered by a real bad ankle, talking to his fellow defensive lineman. I know he's a great personal favorite of yours, Matt.
No question. And if I'm picking an all-pro team and there's a position called pocket crusher, there's no one that I have seen in the last 10 years crush a pocket like this man, Jumpy Gabbs. In fact, yesterday, our director, Artie Kempner, asked him to show it to him, and he snatched him up like he picked up something to drink. It was hilarious.
Artie goes a solid 200 pounds. First down. 46-yard line, Atlanta in San Francisco territory. Time for Hebert, going deep for Haynes. Diving try, incomplete.
Beautifully thrown by Bobby Hebert. Haynes should have come down with that ball. It would have been a great catch, but he's that kind of receiver. Watch the protection. Stay in the pocket. Know where he wants to go with the ball. Good mechanics. Ball's in the air. Eric Davis over the top. Would have been a great catch, but like I said, Haynes is that kind of receiver, and he's down in the end zone right now.
Close, but no cigar for Haynes. Eric Davis with that diving coverage on him. Michael Haynes is getting some attention in the end zone. Appears just to have had the wind knocked out of him. He got up under his own power and back on the bench, and looks like he's ready to go. He stays off for this play. It is 2nd and 10. David Mims is in there. Matt, Jerry Glanville's got to feel this is an important series for his team. They need something here. 8:25 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Pegram running hard, hit by McDonald, gets to the 38. That'll leave 3rd and about 3.
Well, remember we talked in the beginning of the game, but the 49ers were going to have a chance to win this football game. They had to put the collar on Eric Pegram, and so far they've done that. Now, Pegram is having a Pro Bowl year also, and he's kind of come out of nowhere. It's funny, they were bringing all these different people in. They had Broussard, they had Eric Dickerson, they wanted somebody to be the back, and Pegram was in the background telling Jerry Glanville, hey, I can do it, give me a chance. He finally got his shot against San Francisco, and he's had a tremendous year.
132 yards in that first game against the Niners. But that fumble early in this game had him on the bench for a while. And he is dropped in the backfield. Huge defensive play by the 49ers. 3 of them stripping in. Hanks coming up from the safety spot.
And a great call by Bill McPherson, the defensive coordinator. He goes with the blitz. Watch, he's going to come off the corner. Now they effectively have 6 guys. That frees up Brown. Brown makes the play. Brown makes the tackle. Merton Hanks makes the play.
So a 4th down, and so far, now the punting unit comes on. So far, Hebert was out there looking like he was going to take a play in, but now Glanville elects to punt. 17-7. Alexander standing at his 41-yard line, so the 49ers defense perhaps answering some questions today. Alexander hit the ball, but the whistles came before the play.
And the 49ers didn't really believe that the Falcons were going to punt the ball, so they kept their defense in. They only made 1 substitution. They brought Carter in.
Delay of game, offense.
Well, that'll just back Alexander another 5 yards. George Seifert still has most of his defensive unit on there.
Delay of game, offense. The yardage is accepted. Still 4th down.
So Seifert is still suspicious. He's still got his defensive unit on the field. Except for Carter, who's waiting for the ball back at the 10. And Alexander will hit it. Not a good punt. Fair catch signal at the 17-yard line. And that's where San Francisco will start from with 6:40 remaining in the 3rd. Well, tonight on CBS, it all starts with Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, followed by Hearts of the West and Walker, Texas Ranger. Sounds like a lot of oats out there tonight, all tonight on CBS.
Some oats?
Oats, yeah. You know, Western is an odor. We've got 3 of them on there tonight. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. And one guy who's not having any kind of odor is Eric Pegram today. And in fact, he hasn't had a sniff of some open ground, only had about 40 yards of rushing so far.
First down Niners at the 17-yard line. They have kept this Georgia Dome crowd out of the game. Amp Lee blasts his way straight ahead for about 9. Case and Chuck Smith combined on the tackle.
So on that last one, Amp Lee, that's what I'm talking about when we're talking about the inside running ability of Amp Lee. He's not a fast guy. He's not a powerful guy. He just has the ability to make people miss. Watch him come off the left side. Guy McIntyre pulling outside. Now watch, there's one little move inside, little subtle move right there, make the guy miss, pick up close to 10 yards, and they'll go for the measurement. And he got it.
Amp Lee, 43 yards on 9 carries in the absence of Ricky Waters today. And the ball at the 27-yard line. The onus on the Atlanta defense trailing by 10 to stop the 49ers once again in this series. Lee hit behind the line. A good second effort. Winds up with about a 3-yard pickup.
Pierce Holt again making a play, had the big sack on the last series. The difference between Pierce Holt last year with the 49ers and the Falcons this year, I think, is twofold. Number one, he's really beat up. Now, he plays on turf. He's always had a problem staying healthy on turf. And with the 49ers, after a turf game, he would be in the training room with ice bags all over him. The second thing is, this scheme of the Falcons is not the best scheme for Pierce Holt. Pierce Holt works best when he has a good disciplined scheme, and the Falcons just want him blowing up the ball all the time. Doesn't work to his strengths.
Rathman and Carter, the running backs on this play. Young off to Carter. Dexter Carter for a first down. Flag late on the play. Carter got to the 44-yard line of the Niners. Ron George made the tackle.
Nicely done by Steve Young. Again, pressured by Pierce Holt underneath. As you see the face mask call on the end of that run, Dexter Carter. Pierce Holt blows up inside off the guard.
5-yard penalty, number 15 defense. 5 yards from the end of the run.
There's Ron George closing on Carter and does grab the face mask. It's a 5-yard penalty.
And watch Pierce Holt, 95, is going to work back underneath Ralph Tam. Underneath, puts the pressure on Young for a hurry.
So that advances the ball to the 49-yard line of San Francisco. Jamie Williams comes in and make it a double tight on this first down. Nowhere to go that time.
Well, Jesse Tuggle has turned himself in a pretty good football game so far. Through 3 quarters, what I've seen with Tuggle is he's finally attacking everything the way a middle linebacker in a 4-3 should. You know, a lot of times it requires patience, but once you see the hole and you're that middle backer, you really got to fire your bullets and hit it.
Jesse Tuggle was a free agent out of Valdosta State here in Georgia, and really given not much of a chance to make the big time, and has developed into an all-pro.
You see San Francisco has really relied on the passing game. And a lot of that is because they've been a lot of 7-man fronts, so you take what the defense gives you.
That was a fumble and recovered by Young. Got smacked just as he was about to step back to set up for a pass. Chuck Smith, I believe, was the man who made the contact with him, and Young seems to be bothered around the head area.
Well, Harry Boatswain has had some problems on that left side. Young looking completely to the right, and the ball just slipped out of his hand. It was never hit. Young has the presence to come back and get the ball, and right at the end, he gets hit right in the head with his knee, I think. Right.
Hard to see
down
on
there.
Yeah, there. Yep. Yeah, Chuck Smith made the tackle for the sack, the 3rd Falcon sack. 49ers take a timeout. Steve Young, you can see again flexing that wrist. That may be a problem. 3:58 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Tackle. Bill Goldberg is coming now. Watch Goldberg's knee hit Steve Young, and Steve Young's head just bounces off the turf. Right here. See this? Right in there. That got his head whacked. Now you remember last week everybody talked about the great defensive job that the Cincinnati Bengals did to the San Francisco 49er pass offense. When I watched the tape, what I saw wasn't anything extraordinary on defense, but I saw Steve Young get drilled, and it kind of knocked him nutsy, and he said he didn't recover for 2 days. The cobwebs were still in it.
That was the hit by Tovar, the linebacker of the Bengals, when Young was running. You saw Bill Goldberg having to replace his shoe. He's the man who put the hit on Young that sent him to the sideline and a timeout. 3:58 to go. Young comes right back. Sanders a dandy to the 10-yard line.
Well, you want to know if that hit in the head made a difference? I think it kind of gave him clearer vision. May have given him clearer vision. Great play, nice throw, nice catch.
46 yards. They've spotted at the 11-yard line. First down there, San Francisco. They lead by 10. Flare out for Lee. He's tripped up. With a second effort, tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about what he did. May have turned it into a 1-yard gain. Steve Young who also told us he's had 3 or 4 slight concussions so far this season, and says, you know, no big deal. That's nothing that counts. If it's only a slight concussion, it doesn't count. It'll be second down from the 10-yard line. They can get a first down at the 1. And Young takes another timeout. That'll leave the Niners with just 1 remaining as they threaten here again from the 10. Well, tomorrow our full slate of action on the NFL on CBS. Chicago will be at Tampa Bay. Some of you will see the Rams at New Orleans. Important game for the Saints. And at 4 o'clock Eastern time, the Cowboys at Minnesota. Detroit at Phoenix. How about that Dallas Viking game, Matt?
That is going to be a lot of fun. Now, Dallas really has to go with their offense. Defensively, like I said, they've been hurting. Emmitt Smith has to come up big. Urban has to come up big. Harper, it's got to be the big guns who carry them the rest of the way, because they're hurting down the center of that defense.
Charles Haley, I believe, is going to miss that game tomorrow too. So the Dallas Cowboys a little bit shakier now than they were in the middle part of the season. Young back out there, sore head and all. A long gainer to Rice, setting them up here. Second down. 9 for a first. They're right on the 10-yard line. One pump, another. Gets it out from the general direction of Jamie Williams, pursued by Agee and Smith. Third down.
Well, Steve Young tried to get himself out of trouble with good coverage by running to his right and throwing on the run. The Falcons did a great job of coming back, and when you're in zone down in here tight, once a man comes in and it hasn't been thrown on timing, you lock on the closest receiver. The Falcons did that. Young had to throw it away.
Had nowhere to go with it. He has a third down now. Well, defensively, critical situation for Atlanta. 2:29 left in the third, down by 10.
Well, that's a bad timeout for the 49ers.
It's their last also.
Yeah, not a good job right there. Poor clock management by someone. Steve Young was upset. They had to call a timeout. Either it came from the booth down to the sideline or from the sideline out to the field. In any event, the 49ers go into the fourth quarter with no timeouts.
George Seifert showing his usual implacable calm, but you know he cannot be too thrilled with that development. Atlanta has to be inspired somewhat by it, but they need a big play here on third down. Earlier today, the other NFL action, of course, saw the Jets shut out the Washington Redskins at RFK 3-0. They've now won 6 of their last 7, and even though it might have been a little ugly, they're happy to have it.
Well, in that AFC East, it looks like Miami's in pretty good position right now. And they're going to get Mitchell back hopefully this week. DeBerg came in and did a good job. Buffalo defensively, they have not been close. They're going to miss Jeff Wright in the middle. And they're going to have to win on the strength of Kelly without Andre Reed. That could be a big thing for them. They're going to have to rely solely on Thurman Thomas out of the backfield.
Third down, and they're best in the NFL in this territory. 2 for 7 today on third down conversions. Not up to their standard. Here comes the blitz. Young eludes it. Flag down. Touchdown. Steve Young stepped up in the pocket, saw lots of real estate and grabbed it. Let's see who the flag is against, and it apparently is against Atlanta.
21 defense. Penalty decline.
Steve Young gets the touchdown, and again Jerry Rice makes the play because they want to go to Deion Sanders. Sanders covers Jerry Rice by holding on to him. They come with a blitz, no one underneath. Now just use your legs. Sometimes it gets you out of trouble, and sometimes it gets you 6 points. Watch the jam off the line of scrimmage. You got 5 yards. Now Rice has won the battle going into the fourth quarter between he and Deion Sanders.
Topher's point after, and the 49ers widen their lead. 2:22 remaining in the third quarter, and they now lead 24-7.
The most impressive thing that I see with Jerry Rice as I'm watching, he makes plays away from the ball. I mean, teams have to be so concerned with what he's doing in route running that they forget that they will draw coverage to him. They'll take pressure off of other people. Deion Sanders has had his hands full all day long. Rice, the consummate pro. If I'm picking an all-universe team, Rice is right at the top of the list.
Deion Sanders, certainly there is no lack of effort out there. He's been enjoying the duel. Rice has had the best of it. Sanders playing with the sore groin and his illness, but Steve Young's running ability continues to be such a huge factor in his overall play. And they have just literally taken the crowd out of this game here in the Georgia Dome. This normally a very noisy place. In fact, yesterday at the 49ers workout, they had them crank up the music in here, rock and roll music, to the highest pitch of the amplifiers, so that they could get used to the possible sound they would hear here this afternoon. They have heard none of that, despite the sellout crowd of 71,000 plus. And the 49er defense, Matt, has done a solid job in stopping this always dangerous Atlanta offense.
Biggest question that the 49er defense had to answer was, could they stop and hold up in the run game versus Eric Pegram? And so far they've done that.
Smith 5 yards deep, doesn't bring it out. Atlanta will start from their 20. 2:16 remaining in the third quarter. 83 yards in 9 plays for the 10-yard touchdown run by Young, and 4:18 taken away from Atlanta's offense.
The thing that concerned the 49ers with their run defense is they were ranked 20th, and that's bad. But to compound it, they have been up in so many games going into the fourth quarter. So teams have had to throw, which really makes that number 20 rating look even worse.
Hebert 10 of 18, 118 yards and a touchdown, trailing on the scoreboard. In and out of the hands of Drew Hill.
And talked earlier about Jerry Rice with the catches. Now he's gone over 100 yards with the catches. And you can see the statistics here, the yards after the catch, the receptions. They've thrown to him 9 times. But again, the most important thing is the things that he does when he doesn't have the ball. He blocks. He'll come in on a crackback. He'll block downfield. He'll draw coverage. He opens up the whole offense.
Hebert is 0 of 4 in this half. That drop by Drew Hill, not helping him there. Play action for Pritchard. Pritchard has it. First down, Atlanta to the 44-yard line. Burton Hanks on the coverage.
Again, what Bobby Hebert does very well is he doesn't see anybody around him. The ability to concentrate. He has the time. He sees the receiver, and he'll throw the tough ball. That's a tough ball to throw. Hanks has good coverage. Pritchard does a good job of concentrating and coming down with the ball.
Mike Pritchard might be one of the underrated receivers in this entire league. Of course, he's always going to be overshadowed here by Rison and Haynes. But he's having an outstanding year. This is Haynes. Haynes gets to the marker and a first down at the 45 of San Francisco.
Well, the offensive line of the Falcons right now is giving a lot of time to Bobby Hebert. He can stand in there and be mechanically right and has the time. He's going to hurt you.
Well, and there's ample time left in this game with the weapons they have to get right back into it, even though they're down 24-7. Time winding down in the third. Bears got Rison to the 22 of San Francisco.
Why is Bobby Hebert having a Pro Bowl year? Well, it's very simple. Again, concentration. We saw it on the touchdown. Now he's back in the shotgun. He knows he's going to get smacked from Stubblefield. Stays in there under pressure, makes the big throw. And on the other end, Once you're open, expect the ball from Bobby Hebert. Ball's coming down, settle down, Rising with another catch.
Dana Hall with the tackle. And Atlanta suddenly down at the 23-yard line of San Francisco. 3 consecutive completed passes. 3 wides to the left. To the corner. Incomplete. Risen couldn't hold on. He juggled a couple of times. And good coverage by Michael Magruder.
Nicely done by Michael Magruder. When you're in man coverage, you watch your man. Never take your eyes off him. Don't look back to the quarterback. Only look back when the receiver looks back. And if you don't, watch your eyes. See how he washed his eyes at the end? When Risen tried to go for the ball, Magruder knocked it down. Hebert thought he had 6. Nicely done by Michael Magruder.
You can see Risen desperately trying to keep it in with one hand. He's a battler like his quarterback Hebert. 2nd and 10. Pritchard nowhere to run. And we've reached the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score, the San Francisco 49ers 24, the Atlanta Falcons 7. Our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Yard line. Tim Ryan with Matt Millen here. Bobby Hebert with 3 consecutive pass completions, make it 4 on the 5-yarder to Pritchard. Has them in the red zone. Haynes. First down to the 7-yard line. Davis made the
out, and then they just drag him underneath on that close. Right on the money with the ball is Hebert. First down.
Three wide receivers out to the left. First and goal from the 7. Pegram to the 1.
I like that call. They go with 3 receivers to the left side, and they draw the coverage from the inside of the 49er defense out, and then they go right up the middle with Pegram. Now watch, they have 1, 2, 3 guys here. They'll draw the coverage over to this side, and that'll come right up inside with Pegram.
Mark Thomas, the man to come over and make the tackle. 2nd and goal inside the 2. To the corner, touchdown, Michael Haynes. Key series for Atlanta. Eric Davis, the victim.
This is all Bobby Hebert. He throws the ball before anybody ever turns and looks. Hebert sees him, knows where he wants to go, lets the ball go. The defensive back, Eric Davis, has no chance of turning on the ball because Haynes didn't even know the ball was in the air until he turned.
Johnson for the point after. And the Falcons get themselves back into this. Let's see it one more time.
This game summary is sponsored by Budweiser.
Well, not much to choose from in the total yardage thanks to that last drive of 80 yards and 9 plays by Atlanta. And Steve Young having another brilliant day, 22 of 33, 251 yards. But Bobby Hebert has got the Atlanta Falcons back into this, 24 to 14, and we have lots of time remaining. 13:37 to go in regulation time. Carter takes it 2 yards deep and stays there. So the Niners will start from the 20. Now, from the Atlanta point of view, it's up to their defense. The 49er defense had held them in check until that last drive. Jerry Glanville's got to have his defense do the same here.
Well, this is the fun time if you're a defender to see who's going to show up, who's going to make the big play. Right now on defense, you have to have somebody step forward. Let's see who it is.
From the 20, the Niners start in a double tight. Jamie Williams joining Brent Jones. Steve Young, despite getting knocked on the head and hurting his wrist, has played every play. Williams, the tight end, that's worked effectively for them again. And a first down to the 32-yard line. Ron George pulled him down from behind.
Well, Jamie Williams with another catch. 4 catches. That's a big day for Jamie Williams. Usually he's in there to block. He's a big, strong guy. They brought him over from Houston where he played with Glanville. And what he does very well is he will get on the line of scrimmage, get his hands on you, and then give you that big headbutt. He's a big, strong guy and gets a good push. Today, he's getting his blocking done, but he's picked up 4 receptions.
From the 31-yard line, first down, San Francisco. And Lee cutting it back. You know, the little things are fascinating about this game. Once Steve Young saw Amp Lee reversing his field, Young came upfield to be a blocker for him. Didn't wind up throwing the block, but he likes to be in on everything. Falcon down and hurt Pierce Holt on that play. Pierce Holt has got a battered body.
And he's smaller than I've seen him. You know, this season has really taken a toll on Pierce Holt. Now he's down to under 270, and there's a guy who'd like to play closer to 280. The season has worn him down. The other factor you have to remember with Holt is in San Francisco, they'll go into practice with maybe only 10 plays of padded practice. Everything else is no pads, which the 49ers believe saves them as the season goes on. In Atlanta, Jerry Glanville goes full pads all day long, and Pierce Holt is one of those players. He's going 150 miles an hour no matter what you have, and he just gets beat up more at practice.
Although this week Glanville deviated from that routine because he had so many injured players. 21 on Monday, 18 still on Tuesday, so he didn't use pads at all this week. 2nd and 6, Goldberg, Bill Goldberg, 71, replacing Holt. Play action, and incomplete. A little too low for Rice coming back to the ball.
And Jerry should have had that catch. That should be catch number 7. He worked Sanders again perfectly. He drove him up the field. He got Sanders committed to the inside, then broke back to the outside. Watch him again, force him upfield, get him to turn his shoulders, now work opposite, come back to the ball. Jerry Rice should have made that catch. I don't care how low it is. When you're a great receiver, you make those catches.
Third down and 7, 3rd and 6. Make it at just inside the 35. Holt back in after missing just 1 play. And Young looked like he tried to hold that one back, intended for John Taylor. And he stopped his delivery, but the ball had already left his hands.
So who comes up with the big play on 3rd down? Not the Falcon defense, but Steve Young throws it into the ground.
So Atlanta will get the football back, and the crowd's starting to sense a little something happening for the home team here. 12-14, still to play, regulation time. Wilmsmeyer has punted only twice. He doesn't get to punt much on this team, as we commented earlier. Only 32 coming into the game, by far the lowest in the league. Oh, it's a dandy. Fair catch signal by Smith at the 21-yard line. So Abear and company will take over when we return to the Georgia Dome in a moment. Mellon at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. 12:06 remaining, regulation time. San Francisco by 10, 24-14. Atlanta ball at their own 21, first down. Jerry Rice having a brilliant day in his personal duel against Deion Sanders. Bobby Abear marched him down the field the last time they had the ball, connecting with Haynes for a 2-yard score to close the gap to 10. Abear running out of time, and he'll be sacked. Stubblefield, number 94. First 49er sack of the day.
Well, Stubblefield gets him on pure effort, 94, but the play is made right here by Ted Washington. Watch him work inside. He's going to force Hebert to come up right here, step up inside. Now Stubblefield keeps on going, doesn't stop, and makes the sack. Nicely done by Ted Washington.
2nd and 15 from the 16-yard line. Hebert with time, hits Pritchard, Drew Hill, pardon me, 85. First down, Atlanta to the 38th.
A lot of time to throw that ball, and the reason is right here, number 66. Now Washington gives him some pressure this time, so Lincoln Kennedy just puts the clamps on him, puts that big 300-plus body, gives him all kinds of time. Mechanics are sound. Ball's right where it has to be, and Drew Hill with a big catch.
22 yards on the play. Another sack. The ball is loose. A battle for it. Washington battling, and it looks like Pegram has it. He does. And it was Dennis Brown who stripped it out of the hands of Bobby Hebert. A close call for Atlanta there.
They had not had the pressure till right now. They get their first sack. Now they get pressure from the right side. Watch the hand. See how he slaps the ball out of there. Pegram does a great job of using his smaller body against the bigger body of Washington. Comes up with a fumble.
They lose a yard. 2nd and 16. Incomplete. Eric Davis on Haynes. And the Niners defensively doing the job on this series. Brings up 3rd down.
Well, if the 49ers were using this game as a barometer for what they could do down the stretch, I think they've got some very high marks from their defense.
Especially the front today. Which
that was a concern for George Seifert. He thought they were young. He thought they had to really mature, and I think today they really found out that they can play in big games.
They stayed primarily with that 4-1 in the extra backs. Hebert for Risen. He makes the catch. What a catch by Risen against Michael Magruder.
It didn't look like Magruder knew the ball was coming. He never made a play on the ball. Risen very aggressively came back and made the catch.
Boy, that is a big 3rd down play for Atlanta. 19 yards. They needed 16.
Gone to their hurry up.
9:45 remaining. Hebert in trouble. Good coverage downfield that time by the Niners.
And good coverage. They had nowhere to go with the ball. Watch the. They're going to 1, 2, 3, 4 receiver route. They go with the zone. Look at this. Zone down here, manned up here, covered all the way around. Nowhere to go with the football. Hebert knows it, makes a quick decision, and tries to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Stubblefield and Brown combine to make the sack. 3rd by San Francisco, all in this series. Loss of about 1.5 yards. Flags down. Bob Whitfield, the right tackle, appeared to commit the false start.
False start before the snap. Number 70 offense, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
8 penalties for Atlanta now, 70 yards lost.
Right here at number 70, Bob Whitfield, tackle out of Stanford. They had high hopes from him at the beginning of the season, and he has not really lived up to the expectations that they had for him. He's consistent, but he's not consistent at a high level, and that's what their concern is.
First pick a year ago for the Atlanta Falcons. 2nd down, 16. Oh, what a sack there. Hebert trying to get the ball out, but he will be down. Troy Wilson, the rookie from Pittsburgh State in Kansas.
But this is what George Seifert told us Troy Wilson can do. He can make a big play. Watch 92, Troy Wilson on Whitfield. He'll go with the arm under. Look at the great job of using his body, getting underneath Whitfield and gaining leverage, coming up with the sack. Nice presence at the end of Bobby Hebert, trying to make a play out of nothing. Now he's down.
4 sacks now, 20 yards lost by the Falcons against 4 49er sacks. Leaves 3rd and 24. Hebert converted 3rd and 16. See what he does here. Risen got a long way to run, and he can't do it. A good tackle by Michael Magruder. And Risen slow to get up. Risen appeared to be reaching for his arm. Tackle by Magruder, bringing up a 4th down. Jerry Ray, the trainer, out to attend to Andre Rison.
Well, they can't afford to lose Andre Rison. He's a big play player. Everybody on the Falcon offense looks for him to make big plays. Hebert looks for him to make big plays. See right at the end, Magruder with the tackle. I can't see anything.
Hard to say. He put his left arm down to kind of break his fall. That seemed to be what he reached for. Hopefully it's not serious. He had the ball in that arm as well. 5 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown on the day for Rison. Still getting attention on the field. And we'll be back at the Georgia Dome with 8:12 to go. Andre Rison on the Atlanta bench right now, and they were working on his shoulder. He reached for his left arm when he fell, and that's a fairly common place to grab when it's your shoulder that hurts. He landed on it as Magruder put the tackle on him. So that would be a huge loss. It's 4th down Atlanta. Alexander standing at his own 30. Dexter Carter at the San Francisco 10. 49ers excellent defensive series, stopping Atlanta cold. Bearcat single that gets by him. The ball is live in the end zone. Touchdown! The ball. Touchdown. Football, but it is not a touchdown. He was outside the end zone. Charles Washington, and he muffed it. Charles Washington just recently signed by the Falcons after being with them last year, and here it is. Let's see what happens.
The ball
hit him right on the mask.
First touched by the receiving team on the field of play, recovered by the kicking team in the end zone. By rule, we go to the spot of first touch. Atlanta's ball, first down, goal to go.
Yeah, that's that muff rule. Now, once he touches it and it's a fumble and it's recovered by the kicking team, it goes back to the point where it was touched. I was wrong in calling it a touchdown. The muff rule takes over, comes back to the 6-yard line.
Yeah, he never had possession of the ball. He'd have to have had possession. It was a muff. So since he didn't have possession, it is simply a muff and not a fumble. And Jamie Dukes getting that explanation again from Gordon McCarter, but it is Atlanta ball. And at the 6-yard line, 7:46 still to go. A huge miscue there by Dexter Carter. It could be very costly. 10-point margin. Atlanta ball, 1st and goal at the 49er 6. Pegram, the lone setback. Pegram away from 2 tacklers. Good job by the 49ers. They nearly had him for a loss.
Now that's team speed right there. He starts up inside, gets forced out, bounces to the outside, and then here comes the troops from the inside out, led by Magruder and Griffin. Dana Hall, Burton Hanks, they all get over there and show team speed.
Pegram lucky to prevent the loss of yardage. Rison is back in the game. Andre Rison comes wide left. The main man in this territory. 2nd and goal from the 6. Hebert for Haynes, incomplete. Eric Davis on the coverage. The ball a little too high.
Nice call by Bill McPherson, the coordinator, again coming with a blitz down inside the 10. Hebert sees everything, knows where he wants to go with the ball. The ball just takes off on him a little bit, and he throws it behind Haynes. Nice job by Eric Davis closing. Once there's contact made, he drives right through the receiver. There's Bill McPherson right here, the defensive coordinator. That's a gutsy call right there.
3rd and goal from the 6. Hebert's got running room, doesn't take it. Instead delivers touchdown, Rison.
See how Rison is running, holding his right arm because that shoulder's messed up. When you have a pattern that's broken, and by broken the quarterback is taking off, you find a way to get open. Hall does a poor job of not staying with the receiver. Andre Rison shows his toughness, going in there knowing he's hurt and making a big play.
Johnson the point after. Hold on to your hats, folks. A 3-point game, 6:48 still to play.
Jerry Glanville said if this game could be close in the 4th quarter, we will win the game. If we can find a way to keep it close, if we can find a way to slow down the 49er offense and keep it close in the 4th quarter, we will win. Let's see if he's prophetic. The difference on this play is right at the end, Dana Hall takes his eyes off the receiver, looks back at Bobby Hebert, and that allows the separation between Hall and Rison. Rison gets the 6.
Andre Rison has already had a shoulder separation this season. It's the kind of thing that troubles him. Didn't trouble him enough to keep him out of the lineup from the 6-yard line. That's scoring territory for Andre Rison. And this crowd alive now. They were on their hands for 3 quarters.
Well, the great thing about the game of football is never how you start, it's always how you finish.
Smiling through his pain as he talks to the trainer, Jerry Ray. Dexter Carter and Lee, the return men. Good kickoff by Johnson. Carter will not bring it out. Remember, the 49ers are without timeouts remaining. 3-point game could well be a factor. 6:42 to play. San Francisco will start from their 20.
Well, Young and Rice have been effective all game long. See, Deion Sanders walked over to the huddle of the 49ers and was talking to Jerry Rice right before the play started.
Dexter Carter trying to get wide. Good job by Carter, but a flag down. Carter got about 9. Atlanta had pretty good pursuit, but he just turned it up that corner.
There's a Falcon down out there.
That's Ron George, the rookie linebacker who became a starter ahead of Darian Connor on the right side. Atlanta had pretty good pursuit, but he just turned it up that corner.
There's a Falcon down out there.
That's Ron George, the rookie linebacker who became a starter ahead of Darian Connor on the right side, holding against San Francisco.
George McCardle, give us the call.
Holding, number 84, offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
Yeah, when the flag is thrown from that position, it's generally right here, number 84, the tight end, Brent Jones. He's going to be working on Ron George. Bumps inside. Actually, he's working on Archambault, and I don't see a hold anywhere. One of those phantom calls. There's been a couple of them today.
Ron George, meanwhile, still getting attention on the field. And it's his ankle they're working on there. Well, we are at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Georgia. 6:36 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the San Francisco 49ers, who had pretty much their way throughout this game until the fourth quarter, trail a lead now by only 3 points. And they have the football. Ron George up on his feet and limping toward the sideline. Tim Ryan with Matt Millen here in Atlanta today.
Ron George, yeah, rookie out of Stanford. And speaking to Jerry Glanville, first of all, it drives him crazy when a rookie has to play for him. And he said, Ron George told me he was hurt. And he said, well, you just have a couple of broken transverse process in your back. You're not hurt. You get back out there and play. He said that in college, he said you're hurt. In professional football, that's just, you just are uncomfortable. Get back out there and play.
Well, that means he'll probably get back in here fairly shortly. It's just a little ankle. Darian Connor has replaced him, number 56. First and 20, San Francisco at their 10. Amp Lee for 3. Stacked up by the middle of that Falcon defense.
Tried to run right back inside where Pierce Holt has really played himself a pretty good football game. Yeah, he's beat up and he's worn down, but he's a battler. And he'll play from start to finish. He never gives up. He'll make a play when you have to have it, and now they have to have it.
Chuck Smith has come in at the left defensive end. Young for Brent Jones, hit immediately by Tuggle. Got only about 5 on the play. It'll leave 3rd and 11. Well, depending on the spot, right on the 23rd and 10.
The thing I like about Steve Young is there's no panic in him. Now, he knows that he has 3rd down to give himself 3rd and long if he has to. It doesn't matter. He just wants to give himself a better position than he's had. And he picks himself up 5 yards and gives him 3rd and 10.
49ers tried to run in Sanjay Beach. Couldn't get in time. Young for Brent Jones, incomplete. Good pressure from the Falcons, rushing the throw.
And Jerry Glanville is going to have to go Pat Harper, number 47, the rookie, on the back, because he has turned himself in a pretty solid game covering the tight end all day long. Been right on top of him. Harper does a good job of keeping his hands on the receiver and then breaking on the ball. That ball is thrown the only place it could have been thrown because Harper took away by body position the passing lane.
Wilmsmeyer, his 4th punt of the day, standing at his 5. Tony Smith at the Atlanta 40. Fair catch signal at the 38-yard line. Decent field position for Atlanta. Trailing by 3 with 4:55 remaining to play in the 4th. Well, tomorrow our usual full slate of action. Sunday afternoon on CBS, Chicago at Tampa Bay and the Rams at New Orleans, the early games. 4 o'clock games, Dallas at Minnesota. Detroit will be at Phoenix. And, of course, new quarterback again.
Well, you heard of the Super Bowl shuffle. This is the quarterback shuffle. First it was Rodney Peete was number 1, and Eric Kramer was number 2, Andre Ware was 3. Well, then they got rid of that. Then he became 1, he became 2, and he became 3. Then they went back to him being number 1, him being number 2, and him being number 3. Now what that means is Eric Kramer is number 1, and he goes to number 3. I haven't figured it out yet, and it looks to me like Wayne Fontes hasn't figured it out either.
Plus, he let his offensive coordinator go, Dan Henning. Atlanta, meanwhile, first down at their own 38-yard line. Almost intercepted, intended for a rise, and a flag flies at the line of scrimmage. Don Griffin had the coverage and broke it up beautifully, nearly had a pick. And a penalty against Atlanta.
Yeah, they got big Lincoln Kennedy with hands to the face on Ted Washington. Big Lincoln. Watch here, number 66. Working on 97, Ted Washington. Gets his hands up. See, he just gets that big paw right in his hand.
Jam in the face, number 66, offense. 10
Hey.
yards, repeat first down.
Jammed his helmet right off his head. That's been a good battle all game long. Two big men. And Lincoln Kennedy's done a pretty good job.
David Mims has come in for Michael Haynes at wide receiver. Pritchard, Mims, and Rison all out to the left. Pegram out of the backfield.
Look at the feet of Eric Pegram. Eric Pegram has no qualms about catching the short passes. There are big running backs who say, I don't want to catch a short pass. I want to run the football. Eric Pegram says, I don't really care how I get the ball. I just want the ball. And when I run, he says, I don't run with the idea of throwing moves. I'm running out of fear. I just don't want anybody to hit me.
Well, Stubblefield hit him that time, but not before he got 14. It leaves 2nd and 6. Deion Sanders, first down.
I like this. Deion Sanders in the game when you have to have it. Put your best players out on the field. All right, you see him in the slot, 21. Deion Sanders just gonna come across. Watch him move down. Just come across in the zone. Now, Griffin will make the break on him. Sanders fights for the first down and picks it up.
First down at the 49-yard line of Atlanta. Under the 3:30 mark. Deep sideline for Sanders. Incomplete.
Nicely done by Don Griffin again. Sanders goes up, catches the ball at the highest point. Now he's got to come down with it. Watch the crossing route. Griffin with a matchup all the way. Watch him play the ball in the air. Get your hand in there. He got the right hand of Griffin to knock the ball out. Watch his right hand come around. Nicely done by Don Griffin. Hebert wanted that one.
Michael Haynes, meanwhile, has missed the last 3 plays, being attended to on the bench. Now just putting his shoe back on. Hebert just gets it off. It's tipped and caught by Mims. First down, Atlanta, to the 34-yard line. Out the hands of Pritchard. Alert catch by Mims.
And when you see players like that, you have a feeling that it's going to be Atlanta's day. Watch the ball, gets tipped right there. Mims right on top of it, comes up with another first down.
At the 34-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers, 2:40 remaining. Screen to Pegram. Good work by the 49ers. Magruder coming up to make the tackle.
That's a tough tackle to make. That's the hardest tackle in all of football to make when you have no help anywhere, inside or out, to come up one-on-one against the back with the feet of Pegram and make the play. High mark for Magruder.
Well, some of the longtime 49ers and their fans might be fearing a little deja vu. Falcons haven't lost to San Francisco. The only 3 times that the Falcons have beaten San Francisco at home in the last 10 years, they were all funky things that happened at the end of a game. One of them was a tie. One was a Hail Mary that had zeros up. And they may be facing something like that here today, but 2:26, a long way to go. At the 34-yard line.
And both these coaches are aware of it. In fact, Jerry Glanville told us you know, the only time we've really beaten him has been at the end of the game with a big play. He said, I was thinking about starting this game by putting Billy Joe Tolliver in and lining all the receivers up and just throwing deep three just to start the game, just to get that Hail Mary out of the way.
1983, it was Bartkowski to Billy White Shoes Johnson. Sylvester Stamps forced a tie game when they were trailing in 1986. In 1991, Billy Joe Tolliver's pass to Michael Haynes for a victory. It pushed the 49ers out of the playoffs. 2nd and 5. Deep to the corner for Risen, making the turn, can't make the catch.
Good job by Risen defensively. That's that transition game again. He knew he could not make the catch, but he was not going to let Magruder make the interception. Your best receivers are great receivers, but they're just good defensive backs. Watch this at the end. See that? He was not going to allow Magruder to make the play. Andre Rison playing with a bad shoulder. He's toughing it out and playing well.
And tremendous efforts on part of both teams here, individual players. Pierce Holt we saw come in and out of the game with injuries. Just a number on each team. 3rd down. Hebert incomplete for Mims.
Ball was thrown behind Mims.
Griffin on the coverage. And they have a 4th down. Johnson coming on the field. 2:17 to play.
Another gutsy call by the defensive staff of the 49ers, going with a blitz, trying to force the throw. That time it worked. Hebert throws the ball behind, forcing the field goal.
This will be a 47-yard attempt. Johnson has a long of 54 this season. Has only missed 1 field goal all year earlier in this game. It's good. From 47 yards out, we have a tie football game.
Snap was good. Hold was good. Johnson just corrected what he had done wrong earlier and knocked it right down the middle to tie this game up.
Well, San Francisco with a victory here today and a loss by the Saints to the Rams tomorrow could clinch the NFC West. Obviously, they'll have more opportunities to do that in the final 3 games of the season. For Atlanta, if they win here today, they feel that they're still in the playoff hunt. They know they must win this. This is their only shot, and it's a long shot at best.
And look right here, see this? 17 unanswered points by the Falcons. They got a big plus right there on the muffed punt by Dexter Carter. That gave them the opportunity to win and score, but right now it looks like the Falcon defense has risen to the occasion in the second half, and they're playing pretty good football.
Atlanta, should they score the upset here today, will have Washington and Cincinnati on the road and finish up at home against Phoenix. And that's why they feel that if they can beat this outstanding 49er team here today, they could run the table and have a shot at a playoff, despite an 0-5 start. Dexter Carter from the 5. A hit and a fumble. Falcon ball. Sanders with some consolation, it appears, for Carter, has had a muff and a fumble. Ken Tippins recovered. Darian Connor made the hit.
Carter tries to cut back right into a full head of steam of Darian Connor. Elbert Shelley right on top of it, but Ken Tippins comes up with a fumble. Watch him cut back right in full head of steam. Mark Logan is down at the end of this play. Special teams have got them 2 opportunities. One was a touchdown, and now another opportunity to try and go ahead in this game.
Atlanta will have a first down at the 18-yard line. The third San Francisco turnover, the one by Pegram that was costly for Atlanta early in the game, and that's been a problem for them all season long. But it's been the 3 by the 49ers that have given Atlanta this chance in the red zone territory, the scoring zone at the 18, and a first down. And Logan is up under his own power.
Well, they're patting Dexter Carter on the back, and for good reason. He's second in the NFL in punts, and he's got them a lot of good field position. Now, he had 2 miscues today, but he'll get other opportunities, and he's good enough that he's going to make big plays again. Most important thing for a returner is to be able to forget about what's happened.
Bobby Hebert, 24 of 39, 290 yards, and he has his team at the 18-yard line and a chance to take the lead. 2:01 on the clock. Bouncing back from that 6-interception game a week ago, when you talked to him, you knew that that wasn't going to be a problem for him. As you pointed out earlier, Matt, he can just wipe those things out in the game and certainly afterwards. Hebert, just a little quarterback sneak as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 24-24 here at the Georgia Dome. I referred to this game, November 3rd, 1991. 9 seconds on the clock and victory, and it knocked the 49ers out of the playoffs. Well, we're back live now. There's a look at John Taylor on the sideline. Oh, well, that's not a live picture. That's the way it was in 91. Now we're back live, and there's Michael Haynes, who made that catch, and we're tied at 24. Quarterback sneak on that play before the 2-minute warning.
Well, remember earlier in the game, the 49ers had terrible clock management and had to waste their 3rd timeout with 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Well, right now, that thing is biting them in the rear end because the Falcons are just going to get field position with quarterback sneaks, run the clock down, deny the 49ers the football, and rely on the foot of Norm Johnson.
Johnson, who has missed only once all season long, was 21 for 21 coming in, had 26 in a row, reaching back to last year before he missed earlier today from 38. Has since hit one to tie it up. .1:15 and counting down. And that'll bring up 4th down.
And they'll let the 40-second clock run down here, then call a timeout with 1 or 2 seconds left. And that should give about 30 seconds for a kickoff and some kind of comeback for the 49ers.
Norm Johnson, the chance to be the hero here for the winning field goal. Had already set the NFL mark for field goals consecutively in one season with 21 before his miss earlier today. He had that coming into the game. He was trying to catch John Carney's NFL record of 29 in a row, but that miss, of course, knocked him out of that record. All he cares about right now is 3 points for Atlanta. .32 seconds. The clock has stopped with the timeout.
Remember, Jerry Glanville told us if they could be close in the 4th quarter, they would win the game. Well, he's going to have his opportunity. Funny thing is, it wasn't anything that the Falcons did. It's what the 49ers didn't do, and that was hold on to the ball. Special teams came up big. 2 miscues, 1 for a touchdown, and the other one to give them this opportunity to win.
Dexter Carter muffing the kickoff return and setting up the Hebert to rise in 6-yard score, and then Carter's fumble of this last kickoff return, giving Atlanta the ball and this opportunity. Alexander, the punter, is the holder. Ruther will snap it. Johnson will attempt a 37-yarder with 32 seconds to play. It is good. Johnson, acquired from Seattle. They had had a long and industrious career, successful one. They thought he might be reaching the twilight years, and he's been brilliant here in Atlanta. There's a Falcon down and injured on the field, being attended to at the 25-yard line. And there are 28 seconds left. You've got Jerry Rice, you've always got a chance. You've got Steve Young, you've always got a chance. The #1 quarterback in football, and like Hebert, a fierce competitor. And while there is more at stake for Atlanta, you know that the 49ers are going to play this one right down to the final second.
Well, you got personnel that gives you a chance. Rice, Taylor, Young. You have no time, that takes away from your chance, and no timeouts, that takes away from your chance.
Much discussion. Steve Bono talking to Steve Young, and it's Archambault, the injured Falcon player, Lester Archambault, and now he suddenly pops up, obviously feeling better, and he has played well all day on defense.
49ers played pretty good defense also. Their secondary has been pretty good all season long. I think they've gotten better. When they've had to stop them, they've come up with a stop.
Ampley and Dexter Carter are the deep men. Carter would love a chance to redeem himself. Let's see whether Johnson gives him that opportunity. Johnson kicks it high. It'll be Carter, fair catching at the 15. No time off the clock here in the final 2 minutes, of course, until the receiver catches it, and he signaled fair catch, so they have 28 seconds remaining. Steve Young brings him on. No timeouts. And it would take an Atlanta-type miracle finish for San Francisco to pull this out. Rice, Singleton, Taylor, Beach, 4 wide receivers. Tom Rathman, the only setback. 3 wide. Second interception of the day, 6th of the year. Sanders saw that coming all the way.
Sat back in the zone, just broke on the ball before Jerry Rice could break on the ball. It was a great matchup, one that I think Rice won.
And the Niners last week, and on Saturday now the Saints and the Rams. The Saints have owned the Rams recently, sweeping them 3 consecutive seasons. They beat them in Week 5 by 31 points this season, but since that victory, things just haven't been the same for the New Orleans Saints. Jim Mora, 12-3 lifetime against the Rams coming into today's game. First quarter, no score. Saints D comes through again. Jerome Bettis gets the ball stripped from him by Sam Mills. Mills takes it in for 30 yards. Saints up 7-0 thanks to their defense. But, you know, Bettis was thinking, yeah, I've been pretty well in this place before. That's right, Sugar Bowl. 3 touchdowns, 150 yards. And he would come out to large today wearing a Rams uniform this time. First, a 16-yard gain which would lead to a Tony Zendejas field goal. Saints still up, though, 7-3. Rams next possession. Bettis finds the opening, breaks a tackle, and the large one is gone 71 yards for the score. Rams take a 10-7 lead. Bettis knows how to follow his blockers.
Yeah, Jerome here does a great job of following the blocks. You can see the kick-out block there by Cleveland Gary, and you don't often see that kind of speed right there in a big man.
Yeah, he appreciates those blocks. The fourth best ever performance for a rookie, 212 yards. The Saints got 2 Morton Anderson field goals on the kickoff in the second half. Fred McAfee fumbles. Darrell Boykin comes up with it, grabs it, takes it in for the touchdown. And with the Rams actually having the lead, what do? Just give the ball to Jerome Bettis. First, Bettis up the gut for some good yards. Then Bettis breaks tackles to pick up some big yardage. Running like that gives you a lot of options, TJ.
Yeah, it certainly does. It sets up the play-action pass. Right here, you see the nice fake, and then rudely goes to Pat Carter right there in the end zone.
Rams by 10, that's right. After a late Saints touchdown, cut it to 3, Wade Wilson, a last chance. Wilson going to the air, finding Eric Martin. Wilson again going up top, this time to Quinn Early. Wilson back to Eric Martin again. But the Rams D held tough. They forced a 4th down situation. Darrell Boykin comes up big again, breaking up the pass. The natives getting restless in the Big Easy. Their 3rd straight loss in the Superdome. 23-20 the final. Jerome Bettis, the first rookie in 6 years to rush for 200 yards in a game. Bo Jackson, the last in 87. After starting out with 5 straight wins, the Saints have lost 6 of 8. From 5-0 to 7-6, and suddenly their playoff hopes have dimmed considerably. The Bengals and the Patriots. Somehow I knew I'd get this game. Bill Parcells and David Shula going head-to-head in the first. David Klingler goes back. No one's open, so he runs it himself. 30 yards. The longest run this year by a Bengal, and it's by the quarterback. Doesn't lead to anything, though. And the Pats have trouble getting on the board, too. Drew Bledsoe goes back, but Ben Coates can't hang on to it. Parcells says, you know, I've seen this before. Doesn't get any easier in the second. Bledsoe sees the end zone. He sees Michael Timpson, but Timpson can't hang on to the ball. So what do? Oh, boy. Oy. The infamous Scott Sisson. A 27-yard, I said a 27-yard attempt. Oh, Scotty. 14 of 26. Parcells has only 2 words for his young kicker. Yeah, those are them. Bengals don't get much success either. Klingler goes back, and Allen, the Graffenried, can't hold on to it, and he pays for it. Klingler, more yards rushing than passing. Closing seconds of the second quarter, Bledsoe throws over the middle. Ben Coates hangs on to it this time, TJ. 7-0 Pats.
Yeah, David Shula standing on the sideline wondering if Marshall Faulk would do the Bengals some good.
Couldn't hurt. Things got interesting in the 4th. Mike Saxon ready to punt on the 4th. Great field position for the Bengals. At the 30, Parcells, what happened? The Bengals drive. Klingler says we only need this much to tie the game, and Parcells a wee bit nervous. 4th and goal. Off to Eric Ball, but he's stopped cold, TJ.
Yeah, Eric Ball does a nice job here of finding the hole, but he can't get any traction right there to get to the goal line.
The P-men not going to take any chances with Saxon. Into the stands for the safety. Win number 2, not pretty, but a victory nonetheless. 7-2 is the final. The Pats win for the first time since beating the Cards back on October 10th. The 10th straight road loss for the Bengals, but the good news for them, they now have the inside track for the top pick in the 94 draft. Never too early to talk about the draft.
You know, if that snap had gone through the uprights, they should have given him 3.
They should have.
But it was wide, so it didn't. Marshall Faulk, I think, would have scored that touchdown.
He probably would have.
So Clemens had the shutout working until Sabo hit the 2-run homer at the end of the game. Oh, those Bengals and Pats. Well, 2 teams disguised as MASH units, Rob, met at the Vet in Philadelphia. Of course, the Philadelphia Eagles have had more injuries than anybody all year long, but I'll tell you, last few weeks, the Buffalo Bills have been catching up. Big question here, not only who would win, but would they have enough players left to do it? Here we go from Philadelphia, the Buffalo Bills. And Marv Levy wondering, well, where's my missing offense? Opening kickoff, Vi Sikahema asks himself, why did I get out of bed? He fumbles. The Bills recover on the 23-yard line of the Eagles. And actually, they go nowhere, and Steve Christie, usually pretty good, but lightning striking again and again and again the wrong way for him today. Missed from 41, 29, and 51 yards, 0 for 3 early. Eagles, though, in the first half, Matt Barr. Remember he hit both uprights on Monday night? Well, on Sunday, doink. What does he have, a magnet in the ball? It just goes to the upright. Scoreless at the half. Randall saying, you know, if I was out there, we could probably get some offense. But he says, Bubby, why don't you try a new weapon? Herschel as a receiver. The ball to Herschel, and good speed and good power and good shift. 26-yard game for Herschel, who caught 11 today for a $109. Next play. Brister pumps, hits Calvin Williams, touchdown, 19 yards. Eagles lead it 7-0, Tom.
Yeah, as you watch at the top of the screen here on the replay, Calvin Williams right there in the slot position. Look at the coverage come off of him. Safety too late getting over from the middle of the field. Touchdown.
Still in the third quarter, Jim Kelly. Look at Jimbo hang in, make the tough completion to tight end Pete Metzelar's leading receiver of the Bills. But Jimbo hurt his ankle, sprained an ankle, came back once, but then it was Reich warming up. Marv Levy worried, but why? Frank Reich is the architect of comebacks. 4th and 5 in the fourth quarter. Nice pass to Kenneth Davis for a first down. He was in there because Thermal Thomas bruised his left forearm, although x-rays were negative. Davis runs for the first down. Then on 2nd and goal from the 2, Metzelars for the touchdown, and Kelly loves it. We're tied at 7-all. And the ensuing kickoff by Sikahema says, well, let me atone for that opening kickoff fumble. But no, he's still asks, did I get up? His second fumble of the game, and the Bills recover it.
Yeah, you watch the replay here. He's hit by Carwell Gardner from
Louisville.
Makes a nice strip of the football, gets it out, and the Bills recover. Another opportunity to score points.
Little roll reversal never hurt anybody, Tom. And then 3:44 to go. Steve Christie, his fourth chance. This time it's good. 35 yards, so the Bills lead it 10-7. Can Brister forge a comeback? Well, the Eagles tried it. Under 2 minutes, Victor Bailey, first down. Then Brister driving. Nice pass to Calvin Williams over the middle, first down. Matt Barr getting ready on the sidelines. Marv Levy hoping his defense can hold. Barr comes out. 45-yard field goal. They have no timeouts left. Do they rush it? The kick is up. It is on the way. It is short. Rich Kotite's team has battled week after week after week, and they just come up a little bit short. The Bills win a game that, frankly, they should have lost. Buffalo wins it. Frank Lloyd Wright, architect of comebacks, and the Bills beat the Eagles 10-7. The Colts at the Giants. 35 years ago, they called it the greatest game ever played. It was at Yankee Stadium. Alan Amici, the horse. The handoff from Unitas. 23-17, the Colts win the 58 title game. Johnny U and all the players from that game back at the Meadowlands. First quarter, well, Tommy, you said on game day, an offense that all those players from 58 would recognize. Run, run, run. Hampton, Tillman, Rodney Hampton with blockers. Down at the 1, he scored the next play. 7-0 Giants.
Yeah, you look at the Colts here with the 8-man front. Once you break that first wave right there, you've got pretty clear territory to the end zone near Hampton to the 1.
Next time the Giants get the ball, what are they going to do? Rodney Hampton's going to run left for 12 yards. That sets up, same drive, second quarter. Sims back to pass. Looks for Chris Callaway. Hattie, ho. Even though they missed the point, the Giants on the road, 13-0.
That's a great throw here by Phil Sims. Great catch by Callaway right there at the back of the end zone.
Dan Reeves adjusting the ski hat, his club up 13-0. Jeff George, frankly, looked good today. Threw the ball with authority. Look at this to Jesse's Hester. 58 yards. And the Colts on the move. George then looks for Foghorn Langhorn. Reggie hauls it in, but David Tate, 49, stops him on third down. The Colts had to settle for a field goal punt. 4 straight games, which they haven't got a touchdown. Ted Marchibroda's used to that. 13-3, the stat. The score in the second quarter. More Rodney Hampton, 18 yards. In the first half, Giants had 134 yards. And Hampton rushed for 116 of them. 13-6 Giants at the half. Jeff George, though, sensing maybe the Colts could be in it if they could stop Rodney Hampton. But since the Giants have the #1 rushing offense in football, and the Colts the worst rushing defense in football, guess what? Rodney Hampton for a first down. And Rodney rushed for a career high 173 yards and 33 carries. This time in the fourth quarter, give it to somebody else, Gerard Bunch in the end zone. And the Giants, LT catching some Z's. Didn't the Swami say Giants 20, Colts 6?
What a prediction.
Oh, my goodness. The Giants beat the Colts 20-6, and in the process, they've clinched a playoff berth. The first team to clinch a playoff berth. Of course, they have more work if they want to win the division, but the Giants are in the best record at 10-3. And congratulations to the Giants. You had a feeling what they were going to do today.
Well, what an effective, efficient game plan by Dan Reeves. He knew he had the #1 rushing team in the league against the last team in defense against the run, the Indianapolis Colts. He came out and ran the ball well. But I think when you look at the true genius of Dan Reeves in acquiring talent, he got Mike Horan specifically for directional kicking. And you won't see it done any better than this. Puts the ball toward the corner of the football field, puts a little backspin on it right there, kills it at the 1, and the Giants are a smart enough team to be able to down the ball right there at the 1. So this is a team that takes advantage of opportunities. Let's talk a little bit about the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills get a squeaker today, as you said, Chris, a game that they probably are in the locker room figuring we don't really deserve to win, but they'll take. But I think that now a defense that statistically is not as good as their record and an offense that's stumbling, they have to worry as they go to play the Miami Dolphins next week.
The Bills know that even some of their wins in these last 5-6 weeks, the one over the Patriots, for example, and this one over the Eagles, were tough. But no matter what Miami does on Monday night, they play Miami next week. They're still in position to, if they win it, win the division by the tie-break methods. When we return, we will first inside the numbers, and oh, what a day and a weekend in the AFC East. Miami doesn't play till Monday night, but the Bills scored 10, the Patriots won 7, the Jets scored 3. It's a good thing they brought their defenses along. The Colts, see, they needed 9. They didn't get it, so they didn't win. When we return, Oilers looking for 8 in a row. Could they dance over the Browns? We'll show you in a moment.
Excuse me, can you stop and show me what kind of batteries you have in there?
Sure. Do yourself.
Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, they last longer.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah, positive.
Yeah, I got one other question for you.
Well,
Yeah.
gotta go.
Why do they last so long?
Duracell. No other battery lasts longer.
Oxygen.
Paying for quality can be a difficult decision at first. But over time, it gets a lot easier to live with. Acura. Some things are worth the price.
It may be too much to handle. It's Mode 7 rig rotation and bone-crushing checks. It's NHL Stanley Cup hockey, part of the Super NES Sports Network, and it's in a league of its own.
Do you know this man? He's Jay West, winner of ESPN's 12-man contest sponsored by McDonald's and Lee Jeans. Jay and his friends go to all the Chiefs away games. They meet the players and are right on the field for pregame action.
Thanks, ESPN.
ESPN, where there's a game, there's always a winner.
Welcome back to Week 15 of NFL Primetime. The Cleveland Browns at the Houston Oilers. The Oilers trying to win their 8th straight game. The last time they did that, 1961. Why is that interesting to Oiler fans? Well, that was the last time the Oilers won a championship. They won the AFL title in 61. Oilers and Browns, you think they like each other? Probably not. First quarter, scoreless game. First play from scrimmage for Cleveland. Vinny Testaverde led him to a win last week. He finds Eric Metcalf up the middle and look at him go. He darts, he runs, he goes 49 yards. Touchdown, he's so fast. 7-0 Cleveland.
Yeah, a situation, Chris, that offensive coordinators dream about. Look at the left of the screen there. Wilbur Marshall one-on-one with Eric Metcalf. And I don't think we have to guess at what the results of that are going to be.
Yeah, Metcalf and one of the most exciting players certainly this year. And look at the moves, Tom. How do you tackle him?
Yeah, he makes the great spin here at the beginning of the play, and then he picks and dodges his way for 7 yards up the middle of the field.
Buddy Ryan looking for a defense against that, and Wilbur and company decided to turn up the defense a notch. Ray Childress and Wilbur Marshall sack Testaverde. William Fuller, the rush man, nails Leroy Horde, and eventually led a field position to a score. At this point, it's 13-10. Vinny, popped by Marcus Robertson is Kinchin. Fumble sets up a field goal at 16-10. Vinny gets sacked by Lamar Lathan. Oilers defense in the last 8 games where they've won, 31 sacks and 27 takeaways. Cleveland with no times out left. Nice pass to Metcalf. Get out of bounds. But he doesn't do it, Tom, and the clock runs out.
Yeah, Metcalf has to know the situation here so that he saves the time right there so that the Browns get a chance to kick a field goal. As we take another look here, number 31, Marcus Robertson tries to plant right there to make the tackle. He couldn't. He would suffer a ruptured tendon in his leg, and he would be out for the rest of the season.
That's a tough break for sure. He was having a heck of a season with the 7 interceptions. Now, look at Metcalf. Get the corner and look at him go for 29 yards. Bill Belichick says that's the way to go. And Metcalf, 82 yards rushing, 101 yards receiving, almost 200 yards in offense from the line of scrimmage. Testaverde, play action to Mark Carrier. Knew him from Tampa, loves him in Cleveland. Nice pass, 17-16 Browns. Fourth quarter, Vinny wants more. Testaverde, but he's picked off by Chris Dishman, his 4th interception in as many games.
Yeah, Dishman here in man-to-man coverage here on Carrier, and the part of this that's nice is the nice burst on the football right there and making a great grab with his hands.
Well, Al Del Greco kicked another field goal after that. He had 4. It's 19-17. Metcalf is popped by Bo Orlando and Dawn. And so on 4th and 1, field goal, Tommy Vardell gets the first down. Browns still in business, but Lamar Lathan smothers Metcalf. The screen pass is busted, and so can Matt Stover deliver a 57-yard field goal? The kick looks long enough. It's high enough. It's just wide to the right. He gave it a leg, but it was not enough to offset Del Greco's 4 field goals. And the Browns played very gamely down at the Dome, but the Houston Oilers have won 8 in a row. They started 1-4. They're now on a 9-4 pace, and if they beat Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh next week, they will win the AFC Central Division. So the Oilers playing great football. You saw the defense turn it up. But you know what? You know who looked good today?
Vincenzo.
He did.
Yeah, you know, we have a lot of fun with Vinny Testaverde on this show, but I think that Vinny definitely showed a lot of poise today in a very bad place to play in the Dome in Houston. Threw for over 300 yards, 2 interceptions, but also 2 touchdowns. And in the last couple of weeks, he may indeed be the savior for the Cleveland Browns.
Well, he played pretty well, but still a loss for Cleveland. And they, the Saints, the Eagles, and the Lions, who won today, though, but these 2 teams that got off to fast starts, Tommy, and as we go inside the numbers, the question must be asked. What? The Saints started 5-0. Lately, they're 2-6 to fall to 7-6. The 4-0 start by the Eagles equals 5-8. Of course, everyone's been hurt. The Browns have won only 1 of their last 6 after a 5-2 start. The Lions, after a 7-2 start, finally today snapped a 3-game losing streak. All 4 of these teams were in first place. Only one of them's in first now. When we return, Dallas, a team that knows all about first place, trying to churn up the offense at Minnesota. Stay with us.
Hit it.
If you want to feel the music, you've got to have great speakers. Radio Shack's Optimus speakers can surround you with theater sound or put a command performance on your bookshelf, in your living room, or on the road. Come audition over 80 speakers that deliver great sound, no matter what kind of music you listen to. Only at Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
I was singing my favorite lullaby and dreaming about my next vacation. And there I was, face to face with a notorious gunslinger. I knew if he threw his gun at me, it was gonna hurt. So I had to get out of town fast. Luckily, Dollar was there to save my hide. Yep, they're right on the airport with low rates all over the world. No wonder more folks are hitting the trail with Dollar than ever before. Once again, Dollar was quicker on the draw. And once again, they were right on the airport, right on the money.
You use whatever it takes. Leather, lumber, steel, even the cage. NHL 94 for Sega Genesis and Super NES. One-timers, goalie control, and goalies out of control. If it's in the game, EA Sports. It's in the game.
If defense is your cup of tea, tune into Sunday Night Football. Reggie White tries to keep the Pack in first place. Pack and Chargers at the top of the hour here on ESPN. The Detroit Lions, well, we just saw that they had a great early start. They had stumbled, and, well, when things are going bad, you don't have Barry. Let's change the quarterback again.
Yeah, change the offense a little bit. You didn't say the Norris division this time when talking about the Lions.
I can only say it 4 or 5 times
I
in
see.
the show.
Well, after suffering 3 straight losses and with Barry Sanders sidelined, got to do something different on offense. So this week they fired offensive coordinator Dan Henning, and third stringer Eric Kramer was promoted to replace Rodney Peete as a starting QB, the first ever trip to Sun Devil Stadium for the Detroit Lions. Peete and Ware have to watch this one for the sidelines. Both offenses, though, struggled early. Steve Berline complete to Larry. Oh, centers, but look at Kevin Scott. And the second, still scoreless. And he just gets nailed, TJ.
Yeah, he did a good job holding on to the football, but never got a chance to turn up the field.
In the second, still scoreless, Berline finds Ricky Prohl deep for 38 yards. Fans appreciate it, the signs of life. That sets up Eric Blunt from 6 yards out. His first touchdown of the year. 7-0 Cards, and Blunt, make sure now you get the ball for the ref. That's your first touchdown. Lions would answer, though. Kramer goes deep for Herman Moore. 48 yards. Then Kramer goes back to Moore. A 6-yard reception. It's 7-all at the half. Then in the third, Berline goes back to Larry Centers for 25 yards down to the 1-yard line, TJ.
Yeah, here you watch the play action. It freezes Dennis Gibson right there in the middle of the field, and he can never catch up with the coverage right there to Larry Centers.
And Ron Moore will take care of things from there. Punches it in from 1 yard out. It's 14-7, Cards in the lead. Lions answer, though. Eric Kramer finds Rodney Holman. 28 yards to the touchdown. It's 14-all. To the fourth we go. Kramer loves his starting position. Again, to Willie Green. 43-yard touchdown. It's 21-14 Lions, TJ.
This is the thing you have to love about Kramer. Look at the courage that he shows standing right there in the pocket to deliver the ball for the touchdown. And sometimes that's what you have to do.
He was nailed by Mike Jones. Cards, one last chance. Berline to Eric Blunt for 12 yards. Berline to Ricky Prohl. It goes for 12. Second and goal for the Cards. Ron Moore, he is stuck by Kelvin Pritchard. Fourth and goal. Ryan McNeil comes up big. Joe Bugle and the Cards lose another close one. 21-14 is the final. Kramer, 3 touchdown tosses, 257 yards passing. Derek Moore, 20 carries, 107 yards in Sanders' absence. Second win for the Lions over the Cards. So some offense, albeit little, but enough for the Lions.
Well, and Kramer took them to the title game a couple years back. They look better. And they stay in first in the NFC Norris division, skating for home ice advantage as we come down the stretch, Rob. Well, speaking of home ice, the Dallas Cowboys know they would like to be home all throughout the playoffs, but before they took the field today, they knew that the New York Giants had already won. So, Cowboys had to win at Minnesota to stay within one of the Giants in the NFC East. Now, going into the game, Minnesota's second-ranked defense, could Dallas score against them? And also, would Charles Haley play? He's had the bad back. He was in there just as a situational pass rusher. So the Vikings, Jim McMahon to Qadri Ismail, then one to Chris Carter, throwing often on first or second down, in part to keep Haley on the sidelines. Good strategy by Dennis Green and company. And Ismail, a great catch for 7 yards and a first down. That set up a field goal by Rebage. Then later, Qadri Ismail, the missile. Look at him take off. Just steps out along the sidelines, nudged out by Eddie Eat, Drink, and B. Murray. Time of possession, you see it. Vikes did a good job, but didn't score a lot. Aikman drops back, hits Michael Irvin. Irvin across the middle, makes a nice play. Kevin Williams with the block, 36 yards. 2 plays later, Aikman between defenders. Oh, you've seen it so many times. Aikman, Irvin, touchdown, 10-6 Cowboys.
Yeah, and you look at the replay here. What a great arm Troy Aikman has. Look at he eyes the receiver down right there, something that you actually don't want to do, but he has the arm strength to thread the needle.
Aikman goes to Irvin again, wouldn't you? Makes the spin for 27 yards. Then, well, let's see. I've used Michael, so let me use Emmett. Emmett Smith. Nice cutback, 14 yards down to the 4-yard line. Next play, Emmett up the middle, touchdown. Dallas leads it 17-6. Jimmy Johnson said our coaching staff's got to get it together. I would say they've got the good game plan. They got the horses as well. McMahon to Chris Carter. All he does is catch touchdowns or make the highlight reel. Oh, wow! What a one-headed catch by Carter. Dallas, though, when they get the ball, dangerous. Alvin Harper is hurt on the play. Then Aikman to Michael Irvin. He's popped. Dennis Green conferring with the officials. And then, well, why don't we give the ball to Emmett? Emmett had 19 carries for 104 yards. There's his numbers on the day. And a drive capped off by Moose Johnston. Touchdown, the Cowboys go ahead 27-6, and they go on to win it 37-20. Sean Salisbury State came in a mop-up role for McMahon and completed 7 straight passes, got the Vikings on the board. So again, the good stats when he's in. But McMahon, this time, they're not going to put up a lot of points. And for the first time in almost 10 years, since '84, Vikings have lost 4 straight at home. And the Cowboys' important win because 9-4 now ties them with the 49ers for second best record in the conference behind the Giants. 100-yard rushing, well, with Jerome Bettis, let's put him on twice because he had 212 yards. Rodney Hampton, his career high. Gary Brown on his Banner now has rushed for over 100 yards both games against the Cleveland Browns. Derek Moore, Robin just showed you him. And Emmitt Smith, he's a guy that's no stranger on this list. When we return, the game of the day, maybe the game of the year. Chiefs, Broncos, Mile High. It certainly was. Haven't been classics, but you know, when the season came out, the schedule came out in April, you circled this one. Late in the year, Chiefs with Montana at Mile High with Elway. All the excessive baggage. Marty, 0-6 lifetime as coach of Cleveland and Kansas City at Mile High. Chiefs, 0 for their last 10 at Mile High. Chiefs haven't won an AFC West since 1971, and a must game for Denver. But Kansas City has something they'd never had before at Mile High. Joe and Marcus. Would it end the Mile High curse for Marty against the Broncos? Well, Joe Montana using his tight ends often today, Tom. Back to pass, and he was just methodical. 14 yards to Jonathan Hayes. Then Montana to Jonathan Hayes. The big guy lumbers 11 yards, touchdown. First drive, 7-0 Kansas City. With the score is 7-3 in the second quarter, Montana to Willie Davis, finds the seam. Then Montana to Tim Barnett. He uses them all, Tom.
Yeah, you watch Montana here looking into the middle of the field, and look how he has to stick this ball in for Barnett to get it and Braxton to not.
Then the sight we've grown accustomed to seeing this year, touchdown number 14 for Marcus Allen, 14-3 Kansas City. The curse would be ended, would it not? Here's Joe's numbers in the first half. Wade Phillips concerned, as well he should be. But when does John Elway get it going? Late at the end of halves, as in the first half. Elway to Reggie Johnson. Elway looking at the clock to Shannon Sharp inside the 30. Elway with the clock ticking down. To Sharp. Last 2 minutes, a touchdown, and the Broncos in the game now 14-10, Tom.
Yeah, great adjustment here by John Elway and Shannon Sharp. You can see how wide open Shannon is, but look at the job by the offensive line forming the pocket to give Shannon the time to get to the open space.
Third quarter. Wade Phillips, see, he's got rid of that bad-looking hat, Tom, and he watches Elway to Shannon Sharp, 14 yards to the back corner of the end zone. At this point, the Broncos lead at 24-21.
Chris, I guess this is what they mean when they say corner pattern, because if this is any closer to the corner, it would have hit the pylon.
Dave Adolph, defensive coordinator of Kansas City, hopes his squad can dig in. Martin Bayless with the tip, Albert Lewis with the pick. This obviously would turn it around. Montana to Willie Davis. Now let's get the score right here. 21-17 to Chiefs. But Reggie rolling on the Rivers blocks a punt. Denver, Barker, what is he, Leon Lett, kicks the ball backwards, and the Broncos get the ball at the 11. Then, Elway to Shannon Sharp. It's a touchdown, 24-21 Broncos. They had a field goal of long distance, 27-21. Late fourth quarter, Joe tries to bring him back. How many times have you seen it? He's got to go 80 yards, down by 6. Complete to Kimball Anders. Joe to J.J. Burden. It's complete up to the 40. But on fourth down, over the middle, the Montana Magic, would it appear? Not in Mile High Stadium. It just doesn't work. The Broncos again stymie the Chiefs, stymie Joe, stymie Marty. The game of the year. The Broncos beat the Chiefs 27-21. Both quarterbacks were brilliant. Elway 20 of 30, Montana 17 of 30. The Broncos now pulled to within 1 of the Chiefs in the AFC West. Afterwards, John Elway relieved.
We made some big plays. We hadn't been making plays in the previous losses, and we got the block punt that was really a big play for us. We were able to get in the end zone. So we just made some plays today that enabled us to get over the hump.
He was talking with our Mark Malone. Seattle at the Raiders. Tom Flores coached the Raiders to a pair of Super Bowls a decade ago. Could his Seahawks upset his old team? Rick, no time to wallow in the mire. Dumps it off to Farrell Edmonds, 32 yards down to the 2-yard line. Same drive, early second quarter, Chris Warren touchdown. Hey, Seahawks upsetting the Raiders 7-3. Seattle, one thing Meyer can do is run. Look at the busted play, and the rookie makes 5 yards out of it, Tom.
Yeah, you watch Rick Meyer here, you see the great instincts that he has for a young quarterback. He feels the pressure. He doesn't just go to the ground and give up on the play and take the loss. He gets out there and he goes and makes something out of nothing.
On 4th and goal, Meyer looks right. Good pursuit by the Raiders. Oh, just out of the reach of Farrell Edmonds. And on the very next play, Nick Bell, though, is tackled for the safety. The ruling, yes, a 2-run homer for Griffey. The Seahawks, with their 4th safety of the year, ties an NFL record by the 27 Browns, the 62 Detroit Lions of Joe Schmidt, Alex Karras and company. So defense playing a part for the Seahawks. Could Jeff Hostetler pick him apart? He has the rocket. He makes the catch, falls. So he makes the good catch, and then he was a scud. But he gets up because Hostetler on the 4. The Hoss can take off. He does so, and the Raiders lead at 10-9 at the half. Raiders pull out the big play in the second half. Tim Brown really coming into his own this year. Look at him receive the punt. Look at him get by everybody, and he could go all the way. Timmy Brown turns on the Jets. 17-9 Raiders.
Yeah, you see the world-class speed here of Timmy Brown and just absolutely destroys the angle of the defensive coverage. Breezes on into the end zone.
Later on in the third, Hostetler and the offense really feeing it. They've got a rocket and a jet. It's James Jett, 56 yards, 27-9. The Raiders pulling away. But late in the fourth, those Seahawks in the future will be a team to be reckoned with. Rick Meyer, plenty of time, drills it to Kelvin Martin, and quickly it's 27-23. They go for an onside kick under 2 minutes to go, and do they recover it? The Seahawks have the ball, but wait.
The ball was first touched by the receiving team. The player that came inbounds from the kicking team, ball must be possessed before he can touch it. Illegal procedure, re-kick with a 5-yard penalty.
Oh, they get him on a technicality. So they kick it again, and naturally the Raiders recover. So a game effort by the Seahawks in the fourth quarter, but Art Shell continues his winning ways over the Seahawks, continues to win